And now we return you to By the Glass.
Hey everybody, welcome back to By the Glass. I'm your host Brett Hubbard, and I welcome you to explore the wonderful world of wine, beer, and Florida spirits here with us tonight. This is the first segment in our series called Drink Local. Tonight's our spirit show. We're going to be talking about all different Florida spirits, and down the line we're going to be exploring some beers, and we're going to be exploring some wines, everything made locally in Florida. We thought it was a good concept because it's interesting to understand what's produced right in your own backyard. There's a lot of things, and when you really start to get into it and do the research, and you go, wow, this is amazing. And not only is it amazing because it's produced in Florida, but it's also amazing because of what we've really stumbled across here. This 4 Orange vodka is the only vodka in the world to be made out of oranges only. They don't use any grain, which is very typical. Or, like I said, a lot of the people, they're farmers, they're agriculturalists. They bring from the land, and anything that has a starch in it can be broken down into sugars and then transformed into alcohol. Then the alcohol is heated, and alcohol and water boil at different rates, and the alcohol is then lifts up and is distilled and then captured, and that's how distillation takes place. And the amount of times that it's distilled usually has to do with the purity in it. There's certain things called conagers, and those conagers give bad flavors and harsh flavors.
Yeah, like some of the good vodkas you see is maybe triple distilled.
Yeah, well, they'll distill them many times because they want to get those conagers out of there. They want to get those bad flavors, the things that give off the off taste that you don't want, that are naturally occurring because they're parts of what was originally used to make the mash.
This might be off topic, but I've heard you can actually take your cheap vodka and pour it in one of those water purifiers.
Yeah?
And that kind of distills it again, and it'll make it taste a little bit better.
Well, that's perfect. That's something that's great for this type of show because we want somebody out there to try that. And
yeah, we can actually try that.
So
here
tell
one
me
time.
again, Jason, how does that work?
You can go buy cheap vodka
Right.
and then just filter it over those Brita water filters or whatever.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a charcoal filter.
Yeah, and it actually makes your vodka taste crisper,
That's
cleaner,
awesome.
and better.
All right, we're gonna try it. We're not gonna try it today, but
We'll have to do a blind taste test.
we're
to
gonna
see
do
if
that.
works.
Yeah, we're gonna do that live on the air one day. We're gonna figure that out. That is so cool. But what we're gonna do, and what we love to do here on By the Glass every Thursday at 6:00 on SoFloRadio.com, we evaluate, we showcase, we talk about things, we talk about spirits, and this is why we love this show, because we get to start new stuff and we get to enjoy new things. Absolutely. So this 4 Orange vodka, I'm gonna pour a little bit right here, and as we look at it right off the bat, I mean, I'm just pouring this out of the bottle without even sticking it up to my nose, and I can already taste the oranges. Watch out, Jason. That's a very expensive computer.
Wow, I just
Jason
got
just
a whiff of like the orange
It's
display
amazing.
at Publix. Wow,
Yeah, it's amazing
that
how
smells
this
so
comes
good.
out. Was that a crack in the glass?
Yes.
You might want to get yourself another one. Here you go, sir. Absolutely.
High quality glasses. George
We're doing this
provided
live.
us.
We're doing this live and local, folks. We're on the air live right now, so excuse us if there's a crack in the glass every once in a while. If you see through a crack in the glass, if it all comes apart, comes breaking down around you, then you know that we are live and doing it live. And I'm going to pour a little bit here for mystery guest. Oh, he's not such a mystery anymore. Hey, George, how you doing? Hey, whoa. If you'd like to stick your nose in there too, that's absolutely right. So what we have here is we have 4 Orange Premium Natural Orange Flavored Vodka. Not as only orange flavored, but it's made of oranges. It's actually made out of oranges.
Smells wonderful. Smells like a nice orange bouquet or like an orange grove.
It's amazing. I've never had such a real natural total flavor and smell come off of a product like that. Now, I've stuck my nose in a ton of flavored vodkas, and they do not come around like that. That is amazing. So what we're going to do now, right now, we're going to take a little look at it because it's water white, but, it has a nice viscosity to it. Now people say, oh, my God, this guy's evaluating vodka. Yeah, you can evaluate vodka, too, because what you do is you take a look at it. They're not all the same. It has to do with the distillation. It has
Might
to
even
do
have a little bit of an orange tint, just a little.
It's interesting because it has a viscosity not of a typical vodka. You can tell. Now, you guys, think about it. You make a mash out of grain, and that's mostly water and grain. It kind of looks like soup. But if you think about how they're making a mash out of oranges, you know that orange juice has a thicker viscosity. Just the sugar that's naturally in the water that comes out of the orange, the juice itself, isn't going to transform over like a normal mash would. And when I say mash, I mean when you take the barley, the grain, the rye, and you mix it all together, and then you put it into your mash tun, which is your big pot, and you add water to it, and then you just before you turn the the starches into fermentable sugars, because starch, yeast will not eat starch. Yeast eats sugar. So whatever you have starchy, like any type of grain, think of bread. It's made of starch. That it has to be broken down so that the yeast can eat the fermentable sugars. And this is something that's very interesting because it's thick and viscous and it's beautiful. And I tell you, I don't even have to put it even close to my nose to get this unbelievable orange flavor off. It
smells
of it.
wonderful.
And you can tell this is painstaking labor of love. 4 orange vodka. This is phenomenal stuff. This is what we do.
A caller.
Oh, hey, caller. Caller, how you doing out there tonight?
I'm doing good. This is Troy Roberts from Siesta Key Rum.
Troy from Siesta Key Rum. Yes, sir. Siesta Key. Mr. Troy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing wonderful. We love your product. We've been studying up on it. The Siesta Key Rum, and he's out of Sarasota, and it's made from pure Florida cane sugar.
That's correct.
We have the gold. We have the gold and the white. Please tell us all about yourself, sir.
Okay. Well, we make rum in Sarasota, Florida.
Fantastic.
It's all made from like you said, Florida sugar cane. We're a micro distillery. We have equipment that was all custom built to our specs for rum production. We've actually made some tweaks to it since then to kind of increase the sweetness of the white, but keep the smoothness in there. And that's it. We've basically been in the Sarasota area. We've had product on the market since March of 2010, and we're just starting to expand around the state a little bit more.
Excellent. Interesting when I was researching you a little bit that you used to do an information technology. That used to be your old thing, and then you moved into rum because it was something you wanted to tangibly feel it. It was something you wanted to put on the shelf. I thought that was so cool.
Exactly. It's nice to have a product that you can actually hold in your hand, and I've always been a baker. I like to bake rum cakes, and to me this is kind of the similar sort of thing where there's science and there's art both, and you get a finished product that you can actually pour in a glass and take a look at.
It's amazing too, because we were talking, you guys you start with agricultural products. You start with sugarcane. It has to be grown in the earth, and some of the environmental aspects of that are very important to note as well. And just how you guys, you take something from the earth and you turn it into a finished product. Tell us a little bit about that experience, what that's like.
Well, I like the aspect because what you're building is so close to nature, like you say, because the sugar cane grows in Florida, and they extract their first bit of sugar from it, and we take the highest grade molasses that's left over from that, and that is the raw ingredient that comes into the distillery. We get it brought over in a truck with about 40-some thousand pounds, and we just start from that, and it goes out the door, and it's rum in a bottle.
That's phenomenal. The small batch, handcrafted artesian rum. And let me tell you something. I'm sticking this up to my nose right now, and it's the first time I've ever tried this, and it is amazing.
It smells sweet.
It's got this.
Which one are you smelling? The white or the cold?
Yeah, the white. We're smelling the white. I mean, it smells like no other rum I've ever put up to my nose. I'm getting like a caramel, not a caramelization, but almost like a candied in a good way, like a sweetness it's overwhelmingly wonderful. It's like a cream, like a vanilla
almost like
cream.
Cotton candy.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, like cotton candy vanilla.
One of the common things that people will note on the nose is butterscotch.
That's what it is.
Butterscotch. You nailed it.
There
You go.
Absolutely. It's
And
wonderful.
the shape of the bottle is like
We love the shape.
classic rum bottle shape.
But it really stands out too. I mean, it was the first thing that I really saw, and that product, the visualization of the product, the bottle, the whole package is phenomenal. You guys did such a great job.
What's
Well,
your
thanks,
favorite
thanks.
way? What's your favorite way to enjoy your rum? Straight, or you like a mixed drink?
Well, it depends on the rum I'm drinking, but normally I drink it in a tea punch, particularly the gold rum, and it's actually on the back of the bottle.
Oh, okay.
And it's a traditional drink from the French West Indies, and what they normally do is they lay out the ingredients and everybody mixes it how they want. It's just some rum, a little bit of simple syrup or some cane syrup if you have it, and some lime. And I normally cut the lime just down the side, so when I squeeze it, I don't get any of the pulp in there. It's just a real nice, clean drink where you can still taste the rum.
It's so cool. It says you use copper pot stills, and
Yep.
then when you make the brown, the gold rum, do you put it into barrels to age? What type of barrels? What types of wood? What are those barrels been used for? How does that whole thing come about?
Well, the rum that you're drinking, the gold, is 100% from brand new oak barrels that come from northern Minnesota oak, which has a real nice tight grain to it. So it has some good tannins, so you get some good caramelized sugars when it gets toasted. But we've started to mix that up a little bit, and we have some barrels that we got used from the Palm Ridge Reserve folks, actually, and we're aging some rum in those little barrels, and we also have some used Maker's Mark barrels that I think will blend in nicely and complement the current flavors to the rum.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, those flavors really pull through. Do you think that a lot of that butterscotch flavor that you get from on the nose of this comes from some of those barrels and some of that wood aging?
Absolutely, yeah. Cause when it starts out to be a gold rum, it's not gold. All spirits come off distilled clear,
right?
Which can be a common misconception. I think some people think a whiskey or a gold rum comes off distilled that color, but it doesn't. It comes off perfectly clear. And we distill it a little bit rougher, so it has more flavor in it, but you wouldn't want to drink it right away.
Right.
And then you put it in the barrel, it picks up the caramelized sugars that you get from the toasting and the charring. That's where some of the sweetness comes from. But there are also natural vanillins in oak, and that's where you get more of a vanilla flavor after it spends time in the wood, particularly with the newer barrels that we use.
That's beautiful. It's so interesting. And the drum circle, you like to play the drums, and the whole thing comes from. Tell us the story.
Well,
about how
I
you
live
got the name and
on
everything.
Siesta Key. I moved there when I was 14 years old. I've lived in a lot of other places since, but there's a drum circle on Siesta Key that started spontaneously probably, 12, 15 years ago, and it's basically just a bunch of people that sit around and hit on their drums in rhythm, and there are people dancing to it and just sort of sitting around and watching the scene, and it's just kind of a very Siesta Key thing that I thought made a perfect name for the company.
That's awesome. I love what this whole thing is about. I mean, I honestly probably one of the best. I was just down at the Rum Renaissance Festival in Miami, and
we were there too.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't run into you, but I can't honestly say that I tasted one better than this, because this is phenomenal. I'm really blown away. And thank you so much, Mr. Troy Roberts, for calling in. This is the Siesta Key Gold Rum. It's produced in Sarasota, Florida, from pure cane sugar, small batch artisan rum. You can pick it up anywhere at Total Wine. Go down to your Total Wine and pick it up. Troy, you going to be around town anytime soon that people can run into you? Do you travel around a lot? What do you do? We're
going to be down all around Miami tomorrow, actually, hitting some of the Total Wines and some other stores, and so we try and get down there. We like to meet the people who sell our rum for us and make sure they understand it and taste it and can appreciate it.
Well, we get into the last segment of the show. We're going to go through all of those different appearances that you're going to have. We all have them all listed and everything, but thank you so much for calling in. I like how you put the batch number right on the front. I mean, how much more authentic can you get than that?
Yeah, that's key
that
right
is
there.
so key right there.
Thanks. Well,
Thank
appreciate
you
the opportunity,
so
guys.
much. All right, well, I hope to run into you in the street sometime or at the next tasting.
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right, take care, Troy.
Okay, yep.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that was phenomenal. I mean, absolutely wonderful. You can't really get much more original than that. And it comes right from Florida. It comes in our own backyard. And let me tell you something, folks. I'm not kidding when I tell you that I stick my nose in this rum, and it is
Some
amazing.
of the finest rum I've ever had.
It's funny because I was trying to, like I said, the word sweet or the word candy, they don't always come across too well when you're evaluating, when you're talking about spirits and stuff.
No, it's a pleasure to drink, though.
But that butterscotch flavor, I mean, I'm so glad he said it, because it's just like nailed it. It just is beautiful, and everything about it. I mean, the way the barrel ages and everything. And we were going to, yes.
I haven't tasted it, but can I have the empty bottle? Because it makes you want to put a message and send it out.
It's
Look
totally,
at it.
I mean,
It's
and that's great too.
fantastic.
And the whole thing about the drum circle and the Siesta Key, and the fact that there's heritage behind it. A lot of people like products with heritage, because it's really something that's what it's all about. And a good quality product is awesome. And we're going to have a lot more quality products. When we come back, we got to go to a break, but stay with us on By the Glass on SoFloRadio.com.
Do you know who we are?